What's up, YouTube? It's me, Charlie Boy again. I guess I'm just gonna start doing these random rant videos. Anyways, day after Halloween. Hopefully all of you had a safe and wonderful Halloween. I, for one, went out on the town and realized that pretty much everybody partied over the weekend. I was kind of working over the weekend, so I didn't do that. So like it says in the title down below, this is a reaction video to the latest documentary that National Geographic posted up called Before the Flood. All right. It's a documentary that was filmed over about a 2-year period with Leonardo DiCaprio, who was deemed an ambassador of some sort for global warming. Before the Flood basically happens just a bit before he started filming for The Revenant, during filming of The Revenant, and just a little bit after the filming of The Revenant, which is a fantastic movie that pretty much depicts us, how we in the US pretty much came to be what we are today. I mean, it's not something anybody really wants to be proud of, but it did happen. But to put it in a blunt term, the documentary really is truly about the world, the state it's in, and the fact that we are really trying to do something about it, but not doing anything at all. No, I'm gonna preface that a little bit. Okay, we aren't doing anything at all is a bit harsh of a term, but like the way I like to look at it is, we as human beings love to be comfortable. I mean, it's a thing. I mean, we strive to live our lives without worry and without doubt. It's what we try to do. That's why so many people work so hard. But at the end of the day, what have we done in this world that allows us to live our lives the way we do? We have cars. We have electricity. We have cell phones. We have a whole bunch of goods that we like to buy. And I mean, I have my computer. My computer's, it's a beefy, pretty badass machine system that has been running on its own for a very long amount of time. Problem is I, like a lot of people here in the US, live in excess. I cannot say that I don't, because I may not have everything in the world that would make my life way easier just because I don't feel like spending money on it or buy this and buy that thing, but I do live in excess. My excess is the fact that I really like my computer, but I also leave it on pretty much 24/7, chewing away electricity. When I'm asleep, when I'm at work, wherever I am at, if I'm not at home using it, it's on, it's running, it's doing stuff for me. I always have it running just because turning it on takes too long. And that's me living in excess. Another thing about the documentary, from my sort of stupidity on it, the next suggested video, after, you know how YouTube has all the videos in there, it's like, oh, all these videos, you might like one of these. One of them was from Motor Trend. Basically, they had a new video for Dirt Every Day, which is a show about this dude Fred, who has been doing this show for a very long time, and a buddy Dave, who decided that they were going to take an old 1970s era Cadillac Eldorado and take a second one and take its motor out and throw it in the back. The original engine, which was front wheel drive, was a giant 500 cubic inch engine. So they took another one and put it in the back, giving it 1,000 cubic inches of power, which is a lot. And if you don't know the terminology for cubic inches, it's basically the amount of space you can throw fucking gas into it. So let's think about it. They took one really, really inefficient engine and took another one and put it in the back of it and ran two of them at the same time. Now, the gods of blasphemy are probably screaming at me, what the hell? And in my mind, I mean, it's like, that was fucking cool. But I can see where that's not cool. And I understand. But hobbies and things that I like are there. At the same time, while I've been up here in Oregon, I've been trying to get my car registered. But in order to get it registered, I needed to pass an inspection. So I decided to go out, spend a whole bunch of money to get my car to pass an inspection. When what I probably should have done was just get a driver's license, take my car now, and sell it to go get something that's a little bit more fuel efficient. Which is, you know, it's shut up, fucking Cortana. My computer started talking to me. Anyway, but instead of trading my car in, I decided to fix it instead because I didn't know how far into the hole I was going to be trying to get it fixed. So instead, I ended up now at the point that I am now. It's finally registered, but I'm going to hold on to it for a little while. Now, what kind of car do I drive? Well, it's a 2001 Ford Escape. Okay, it's got the biggest engine that it came with, and it's very, very, very inefficient on fuel. So much so that it gets, well, it's documented as getting 17 miles to the gallon around town. Normally I get about 13 to 14, which is terrible. I mean, that's bad. So I thought maybe I should trade it in for something else. Well, there's the problem with me trading it in for something else. Going back to the term of me living in excess. I don't want something shitty, to say it the nicest way. Like, I want something that I want to drive. I don't want something that I can drive. And there's a lot of people out there who just have a car, to be able to get from point A to point B, which is fine. I'm not talking about driving in like complete style. I want to drive a car that is capable of doing things such as off-roading. Now, my Escape is probably capable of doing a little bit of off-roading, but out here in Oregon, it might be lacking in the dirt muddy scenario. It's not going to handle it. It's going to do a terrible job at doing that. So I wanted to get something a little better. What did I want to get? Well, I still want to pick up something that's a little more fuel efficient, but it was a toss up between a Subaru or a real 4x4, a 4Runner. And I hold my hand up here higher because, well, let's face it, the 4Runner is winning because it's the badass truck. Whereas me getting an Outback, it's cool and all, but it's not going to do any rock crawling or anything. So there's that. The 4Runner, even a brand new one, a 2016 4Runner, unfortunately, gets the exact same fuel mileage as the book version, or on paper, what my Escape gets. Which means I wouldn't be getting any better fuel mileage. I might be outputting a lot less dirty ass carbon because of how newer the engine is, but it doesn't fix the fact that I'm still going to be burning the same amount of fuel. Probably a little less, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is I could make a choice to drive something else, but I don't want to, because if I'm going to spend a lot of money on a car, I want to buy a car that I want, not a car that I could use. I mean, that's my logic. That's me in my brain. And that's the brain of tons of people in the US. That's all of us here. We want what we want. And the unfortunate part is this whole global warming thing is not about what we want, but it's what the future is going to need. And I hate that. I hate that about myself, because there is nothing, I feel like there is absolutely nothing I can do to fix that. Like, I know what I want. Like, if they made a badass electric 4Runner, I would buy it, no problem. But they don't make one. In fact, the only electric SUV that I've seen that Tesla makes is barely even an SUV. I haven't seen any video of it doing any rock crawling or anything. In fact, the only thing I've seen online on YouTube is people taking the gull-wing doors and smashing shit in the door when it closes, because that's cool. But in the documentary, Elon Musk is in there talking about how his battery solutions for homes could be the wave of the future. That's great and all, but that takes care of homes. And that doesn't solve the problem of these other areas, these cities. LA alone has more people living in the cities of LA than it does in the outlying towns, like San Bernardino County and all that. Like, there are tons of people living in just LA. And those are all buildings, apartments. I mean, all this stuff. You can't just convert that, like changing every single home to rely on the battery. There are infrastructures that the electric company doesn't even have to that building supply. Some of it only, there's no like measurement of electricity going only to just the apartment structure or someone's unit. It's all divided. It's all different. You can't just say, oh, we'll just go ahead and stick solar panels on the building and we'll power the whole building. It's not even going to work that way. What I noticed living here in Oregon, how the hell are you supposed to make solar work when 9 months out of the year it's cloudy? Like, you can't do that. You need the solar panels to be coming from somewhere else. So you have your solar power somewhere else sending electricity to another place in the world, which can be done. The problem is these electric companies, are they going to be willing to go, well, I guess we're just going to step aside and let the solar company power the town. We're going to let the solar company power the state. It's not going to happen. These people want to get paid. And could you imagine if you decided to just say, all right, we have to get rid of all these power plants. We're going to only rely on solar power. The amount of people who would lose a job because of that causes a whole bunch of other problems. We here in the US, we rely on our job market. It is what it is. We have people in the workforce to support our economy. So we say, let's just get rid of all the power plants. Great. Where do all these people go? Because they ain't going to work at a solar farm, because that's not their skill set. They work at a power plant to supply power. They work at these electrical companies. Whatever way that they do, they ain't just going to step into the solar industry. Yes, it can be done. But then what? What happens to all these people who lose their jobs? I mean, there is so much other thinking about it. And at the same time, you have the oil industry and all of their loveliness of, we have, cars and everything that needs to be done, and helicopters, planes, you name it, anything that runs on a fossil fuel. They try absolutely their hardest to block anything that goes to the government by spending money on politicians to get them to go their way. It is absolutely ridiculous. And deny it all you want. All of these people out there who constantly try to say that global warming isn't real, that it's just a farce, it's fake, made up science. Have you seen the way the world has been reacting lately? Oh, it's just weather, it's just happening. The world's all over the place. Even some people think, oh, okay, well, who cares if the world is global warming is coming? That means better summers all around. No, that means droughts everywhere. They even said that the biggest problem with the world's carbon, or not even just carbon, is methane. And you know where the methane comes from? Cows. Because of the 50% of the stuff that's grown in the US, 70% of that 50 is cows. Cows. That's ridiculous. Now, I love me a good burger every once in a while, but holy shit. That methane that's coming from all the cows is causing more global warming? Fuck. I love beef. It's good. They're like, yeah, just eat some more chicken. I'm like, eat more chicken. Have you ever had a 22-day aged steak. That shit's fucking good. Costs a lot of money. But I mean, that's us. That's us living in excess. We have to have what we have. I mean, what else are we going to be? What are we striving for? And I think that's the thing that needs to change. What are we striving for? So that we can live a good life? What about what you leave behind? What do we leave behind? I get it. Some of you don't fucking care. But I think the rest of the world should. And I think there's more of the world that does give a shit than, with the people who don't. I mean, the people who don't give a shit, all of you out there who don't give a shit, what are you going to tell the future generation? Those of you who believe in reincarnation, those of you who don't, what if reincarnation is actually a fucking thing and we end up getting reincarnated back in here 2040 and the world is going to shit and you get reincarnated into what you helped contribute to? I mean, there's something to think about. I don't know. What do you believe in? It doesn't matter. Whatever you believe in, the world is it's ever changing. It's ever changing. So now what? Now what do we do? I don't know. I mean, how can we change what we brought upon ourselves here? We can't just turn it off overnight. It's just not going to happen. Like they said in there, if we stopped all of it, all of our carbon contributing problems, if we stopped all of it all at one time, just at one time, the world will still rise in temperatures before it'll come back down. And they don't know how long it's going to take. The world will heal itself. It has before in the past, well before we even existed. A fucking meteor hits the planet. There was life here before, but it took a whole lot of time before it recovered, before the bacteria started to grow into what we are today. And I mean, some of you creationists, I know you don't get it. It's fine. I believe in the science. Science is there. And I also believe in God. And it's also there. There is a healthy way to balance both. There is. Deal with it. But we have to do something. I don't know what the hell that something is. I really don't. It is hard. What do we do? I'm right here talking to you right now on a camera that probably had a whole lot of carbon that was used to make it. We are here in this world trying to figure out how we can go to Mars and colonize it. I think we should probably figure out what the fuck we're doing here first before we decide to go colonize another planet. Where do we get off being able to go take over some other place if we can't even take care of ourselves now? To put it in a really bad sense of mind, people who live in homes, they have to get termite protection. They have to, figure out a way to make their home termite proof, right? Terminix and all that. We are those bugs on this planet. I don't know of any other parasitic bug that's worse than us. But since we are the dominant race on this planet, who are we to judge? None but ourselves. Anyways, that's my rant. Probably a little overboard, like 20 some odd minutes, but hey, that's just me. I'm going to put a link down below for the trailer if you guys, or not the trailer, but the whole documentary, because it is posted on YouTube, so if you guys want to watch it, it's there. But other than that, if you guys want to see it, it's an interesting documentary. I suggest you watch it. More from me, anything else, I don't know. I'm going to put stuff later. I'm kind of starting to like this whole talking to the camera thing. I'm using my Tamron lens today, which I can't have autofocus because it freaks out. So, but it does look cleaner than the other lens. It's just can't autofocus. It's not meant for filming. It's just meant for taking pictures. But anyway, you guys enjoy yourselves. I will check you all later. Peace out. Deuces. Bye. I don't know. What else do you want me to talk about? Leave it in the comments. Get in. Where's the off button?